Gopi Gita, verse 19.
Shakti sujatu charanam baruham stanesu pita sanai priyadadi mahikarkashe tinatavim atasi tadabhyathate nakinsi kurupadibhi bhramati dhirbhavadajusham.
Translation. O beloved, fearing to hurt your very tender lotus feet, we carefully place them upon our hard breasts. Tonight, with those very same soft feet, you are wandering somewhere in this secluded forest. Are your lotus feet not in pain, being injured by sharp stones, edges of dry grains, and the like? O you, who are our very life, our intelligence is bewildered, overwhelmed with thoughts of you. End of translation. Bhav Prakashika Vritti by Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In his commentary on the previous verse, Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the gopis told Krishna, "Give a little, a very little of a remedy that will subside our heart's disease and give us pleasure. And it should have two effects. It should remove all kinds of miseries, vrijina hantyalam, and it should bestow auspiciousness, vishva mangalam." Krishna asked, "A little of what?" The gopis replied, "You are the doctor, the best doctor in fact. We do not have to tell you what to give us. You certainly have the best medicine to counteract the heart disease of those who are your very life and soul." Krishna said, "I cannot understand what heart disease you refer to. You are the doctor, so you should know. We do not have much knowledge about diseases, but you do. I still do not understand what you are talking about. You will have to be more specific." Krishna wanted them to state their desire directly, but the gopis would not do so. Rather, they communicated indirectly by their movements. He insisted, "I will not give you anything until you plainly tell me the specific nature of your heart disease and what medicine you want. Otherwise, how can I remove your disease?" When he persisted with this point, the gopis began to weep, as described in the verse beginning, "Yat te sujatat charanam buruham staneshu." They now say, "O dearly beloved, we will tell you our heart's disease and the medicine we want. We worry that you walk on rough surfaces with your lotus feet, which are so sweet, soft, tender, and cool." The word sujata in the verse refers to someone who has been born in a very respectable family. For example, the lotus flower is sujata, because it blossoms in pure, clean water. Thus it has many natural qualities, like softness and a sweet fragrance. It also gives a cooling effect. The gopis use this word to describe the qualities of Krishna's lotus feet, and their anxiety that those feet are pained, just as they express their anxiety about Krishna's walking in the forest in this verse. They had previously done so in verse 11. Chalasi yad vrajak charayan pashun nalini sundaram natate padam shrilatrinan kurai siddhatatina kalilatam muna kantagachati. Translation. O Master, O Beloved, when you leave Braja to take the cows and other animals out to graze, the soles of your feet, which are more tender than a lotus, must suffer great pain with sharp pebbles, grasses, and the edges of dry grains. When we think about this, our minds become very agitated. End of translation. At that time they said, When you go to the forest to take the cows out grazing, Yad Vrajak Charyan, the stones, shoots, and blades of rough grass, Srila Trinankurai Siddhatiti, prick your very soft and tender lotus feet. Actually, when Sri Krishna takes the cows out to graze during the day, he goes to lush green pasturing grounds. The personification of this earth planet, Prithivi, is one of his queens. Especially for the comfort of his lotus feet, she grew soft silken grasses at the time of his appearance in this world. Wherever he goes, Prithivi Devi extends her tongue, which is hundreds of thousands of times softer than any carpet, under his lotus feet. Thus there is no chance of his feet contacting sharp stones, edges of dry grains or shoots. Moreover, Vrindavan is always managed by Vrindadevi, who has arranged that not a single stone or other sharp object would be there to hurt his feet. In this verse the gopis say, Yatte sujatat charanam buroham staneshu. Now it is night, and the ground on the banks of Yamuna is covered with sharp stones. We fear that your lotus feet are being pricked by stones and sharp dry grains as you walk in dark and dangerous places. Why do they speak in this way? They have no need for such concern, but one who has tender feelings for another person always thinks like this. If a man is late in returning home, all his loved ones will think, why is he late? What has happened? His wife may think, is he late because his train derailed? Is he seriously injured? What should I do? She may think, maybe he has been attacked by dacoits. Why is he late? She repeatedly goes to the door to look for him, and she asks her children, what is the reason he has not returned home? What is the reason? Her children are young and cannot reply. They can only hear her words, but still she questions them. She again questions herself, although there is really no need for concern. Her husband is peacefully on his way home. Similarly, the gopis are in anxiety for Sri Krishna's welfare. Why? In the first verse of their Gopi Gita, they had said, Jayati te dikam janmana braja shrayata indira shashvadatrahi daita drishyatam dikshutavakas tvaitrita shavas tvam vichinvate. Translation. O most beloved, because of your birth in this land of Braja, the entire area has become more glorious than Vaikunta and other planets. It is for this reason that Lakshmi, the goddess of beauty and wealth, eternally decorates it with her presence. O beloved, in this most blissful land of Braja, it is only we gopis who are not happy. We maintain our lives solely for your sake, being extremely anguished in separation from you, and are wandering from forest to forest in search of you. Therefore please appear before us now. End of translation. Tvaitritasavas. Ashavas means life heirs. They told Krishna, you are our life. Now in verse 19 they say the same thing. Dir bavad ayusamna. The word asvas in verse 1 has the same meaning as ayusam in this verse, wherein the gopis now say, you are our life, you are our soul, you are our everything. If anything hurts your feet, that pain pierces our soul, because you are our soul. You may not feel the pinching, but we feel it. The word anga means limb or bodily part. We carefully tend to different parts of our body, yet the life air is superior to all these bodily parts. We can remain alive if a limb is amputated, but if the life air leaves the body, we die at once. The gopis continue, when all these sharp things pinch your feet, we feel this in our heart. Life, ayus, lives in the heart, and that is why we want to keep your soft, fragrant, cooling lotus feet very gently and carefully there. In this way you will not feel any discomfort. Please do not walk in the forest any longer. Return to us. We want to place your lotus feet here on our hearts so that you will not feel any pain. This is our disease. Our hearts are pained because we know you are receiving so many injuries while you roam in the forest. This is the scorching fire that burns our hearts. Krishna asks, "Why must you place my feet on your heart so gently and carefully?" "Your feet are extremely soft," the gopis reply, "and we fear that our hearts are very hard." "Why do you want to keep my very soft and tender feet on your hard breasts?" "Oh, it is because your lotus feet are so dear to us. We want to serve them on our hearts, because the heart is superior to all other parts of the body. We do not want to keep them anywhere else." The gopis are not expressing their mood directly, but in their hearts they are saying, "We keep your lotus feet on our heart for your satisfaction. You want this, and that is why we wish to keep them there." They continue, "But now we see that you are roaming here and there in the dense dark forest, and we are searching for you." Krishna then inquires, "Why are you so confused and disturbed?" Again the gopis reply, "You are the life of our lives," just as they had said in the first verse of this Gopi Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the same auspicious words are uttered in both the first and last verses. The first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam ends with Dimahi, Satyam Parama Dimahi. I meditate on the Supreme Absolute Truth, and Dimahi is repeated in Bhagavatam's final verse, 12, 13, 19. Kasmayena vipasito yam atulo jnana pradipa pura tadrupena cha naradaya muneya krishnaya tadrupina yogindraya tad atmanartha bhagavat rataya karunyatas tachchudam vimalam vishokam amritam satyam paramadimahi. Translation: I meditate upon that pure and spotless Supreme Absolute Truth, who is free from suffering and death, and who in the beginning personally revealed this incomparable torchlight of knowledge to Brahma. Brahma then spoke it to the sage Narad, who narrated it to Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Srila Vyas revealed this Bhagavatam to the greatest of sages, Shukadev Goswami, and Shukadev mercifully spoke it to Maharaj Parikshit. End of translation. In Bhagavad Gita, we find the same principle. Sri Krishna began his instructions after hearing Arjuna say, "I surrender myself at your feet." Arjuna had uttered this verse, Karpanya dosha pahota svabhava prichami tvam dharma samuda chetaha yakshreyasyam nischitam bruhitam me shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapanam. Bhagavad Gita 2:7. Now I am confused about my duty, and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. In this verse, the word prapanam, meaning surrendered, refers to the same tenet of surrender, sharanagati, described by Krishna in one of the very last verses. He told Arjuna, Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarve papabhyo mokshayami ma suchaha. Bhagavad Gita 18:66. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. In the beginning and end of all Vedic scriptures, the same principle is repeated. Important truths and instructions are repeated again and again, and that is why we repeat Hare Krishna again and again and again. Chanting and remembering is our sadhan, and it is the objective of all scriptures. It is everything. Hari Nam is Sri Krishna and Sri Radha themselves, and therefore pure chanting is our ultimate goal. Similarly, the fundamental objective of the gopis, "You are our life," is repeated many times in Srimad Bhagavatam. In particular, it appears throughout Gopi Gita, in the beginning, several times in the middle, and also at the end. The gopis say, "Your happiness and our love for you is our very life, and we suffer intolerably if anything threatens our life. This is our heart disease." In his commentary, Srila Jiva Goswami has given us a very good explanation of some of the meanings of this verse. But still he is concealing something. He has not fully expressed his ideas, and finally he has written, "You will know the full meaning of this verse by practicing Rupanuga Bhajan. In order to practice Rupanuga Bhajan of Raganuga Bhakti, one needs the mercy of the Lord's associates." In this regard, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami prays in his Stavavali to Srila Rupa Goswami. Garo mantre namni prabhu vara sachi garbaje pade swarupe shri rupe ganayuji tadiya pratamaje garindre gandhava sarasi madhu puriyam rajavane raje bhakte goshtalayeshu paramastam mamarati. Sri Swaniyama Dashakam 1. He says, "I am so much indebted to you, Srila Rupa Goswami. You have given me everything I require for my spiritual perfection in Raganuga Bhajan. You have taught me how to control my mind, how to think, and how to enter into this realm of Raganuga. Param astam mama rati." Here the words mama rati imply that one should have great love for one's guru, one's Diksha mantra, Sri Hari Nam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Srila Rupa Goswami, along with Srila Rupa Goswami's followers and his elder brother, Srila Sanatan Goswami. Girindra means Giriraj Govardhan. Gandharva Sarasi is Radha Kund. Madhupuriyam refers to Mathura. Vrajavane means Vrindavan, and Goshtalayeshu refers to all those who dwell in Braj. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami indicates that we should have deep love for the lotus feet of all these divine personalities. He says, "Rupa Goswami has given me the ability to control my mind and senses. He has given me the power of spiritual discernment, faith in the Supreme Lord, and freedom from sensual and mental transformations, lust, when meditating on the pastimes of Radha and Krishna." If, in our early stage of development in bhakti, we remember the intimate pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in solitary places, a lusty feeling is bound to enter our hearts. It will surely come. If we try to remember the Lord's intimate pastimes without having received the grace or instructions of our Gurudev, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and Srila Rupa Goswami, we will certainly go to the lowest of hells. If we try to enter these topics by our own power, we will be ruined. All our acharyas, such as Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Srila Narottam Das Thakur, can protect us from this, and therefore we first pray for their mercy when beginning our sadhan bhajan. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami surmounted all obstacles by Srila Rupa Goswami's mercy, and he therefore says, "I remember all of Radha and Krishna's pastimes without experiencing bodily or mental lust." If we are not situated in bhakti as he is, It is essential for us to hear or read these topics very carefully, praying to our acharyas and to the pastimes themselves to protect us from misunderstanding them to be material. The gopis very clearly tell Krishna, "We have understood our disease. If anything penetrates your lotus feet, we feel it penetrating our hearts. We want some medicine for this, so please come out of the forest. Do not remain there any longer. Please come to us. We will then place your lotus feet on our hearts very gently and carefully, as medicine for the disease that resides here. If you do not do this, we will die. We will only be able to maintain our lives if we can take your lotus feet in our own hands and with intense feelings of possessiveness, mamata, towards you, place them on our breasts." In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:41, Prem has been described as a deep sense of possessiveness towards Krishna. Samyam ashrinita swanto mamotvatishyatan kita bhavasa eva sandratma buddhai prema nigatyate. Translation: The advanced stage of Bhav Bhakti, which melts the heart much more than its initial stage, which greatly augments feelings of transcendental bliss, and which bestows a deep sense of mamata, possessiveness, in relation to Krishna, is known as Prem by the learned. End of translation. Prem is Bhav Bhakti that has become extremely condensed, Sandratma. The mood, you are mine and we are yours, is known as Mamata, and this mood is fully present in the gopis. Srila Jiva Goswami says that the gopis are the very embodiment of Prem in the stage of Mahabhav, and that this mood fully lives in them only. When Sri Krishna hears this prayer of the gopis, their words penetrate his heart. He is their life breath and their life itself. So when they weep and speak in this way, his heart melts. I should not conceal myself any longer, he thinks. I must appear before them. In Srimad Bhagavatam he says, I am the heart of my pure devotees, and my pure devotees are my heart. Sadavo hridayam mahayam, sadunam hridayam tvaham, mad anyat te na janati, naham tebhyo managapi. Srimad Bhagavatam 9:4-68. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. End of translation. Krishna expresses his heart in this way, and the ladies of Mathura also explain this fact. When he and Balaram entered the wrestling arena to fight with Chanura and Mustika, the ladies of Mathura began discussing how the gopis always remember Krishna, no matter what activity they are engaged in. Yadohane vahane matano palepa prenken kanarbaruditokshana marjanado gayanti chanam anurakta dayo shrukantyo danya brajashriya urukrama chitayana. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44-15. The ladies of Braj are the most fortunate of women, because with their minds fully absorbed in Krishna, and with their throats always choked up with tears, they constantly sing about him while milking the cows, winnowing grain, churning butter, gathering cow dung for fuel, riding on swings, taking care of their crying babies, sprinkling the ground with water, cleaning their houses, and so on. By their exalted Krishna consciousness, they automatically acquire all desirable things. End of translation. Urukrama Chitayana. The gopis' minds are absorbed in Krishna while they make cow dung patties and prepared cracked wheat, dalia, while they smear the floor of their homes with mud and cow dung, and while they put their babies to sleep. They do not sing, "O babies, you should sleep." Rather, in a very sweet, gentle voice, they sing the names of Krishna. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Sri Krishna is always on their minds, and they are always on his. Even while he is away in Mathura or Dwarka, they are always thinking of him. Now, in this 19th verse of Gopi Gita, Sri Krishna hears the gopis' prayer and thinks, "The gopis are weeping and grievously lamenting in pain of separation from me. I should not leave them alone any longer. I will appear to them and fully give myself to them. I hid from them only to see their moods of separation from me, and having seen that, I am fully satisfied. Never have I seen such exalted sentiments. I can no longer remain hidden from them. The desire to perform varieties of loving pastimes arises in Krishna's heart, and he thinks, I shall now engage in sportive pastimes with the gopis, and I shall make their words a reality. Sri Krishna is apta-kam, meaning that all his desires are fulfilled automatically. He is also atmaram, fully satisfied within himself. He takes pleasure in his own self. He always plays there, free from desires, but when he sees his devotees desire to serve him, he immediately desires to accept their service. Srila Jiva Goswami states, I have not revealed all of the gopis' moods. Not all their moods can be told. A Vaishnava should practice sadhan bhajan. Then all pastimes and devotional sentiments will arise in his heart automatically, and he can achieve full realization of them. He concludes his commentary by offering utmost respects to all the Lord's amorous pastimes. Srila Jiva Goswami is always internally absorbed in the Parakiya mood, the mood of paramore love between Sri Krishna and the gopis. He remains externally considerate to Maryad, etiquette. Therefore his writings on the Gaudiya Siddhanta are often impartial and scholarly, respecting those in the Swakiya mood, the mood of considering the gopis to be married to Krishna, and those in the Parakiya mood. This created a philosophical platform for Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur to later openly emphasize the superiority of Parakiya mood. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur had no concern for the opinions of others in this world. Everything caught in a swift current becomes immersed in that current, and even an elephant may be carried away. Similarly, unable to check himself, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur is caught in such a current. He speaks from the heart, impelled by his own extreme eagerness. Let us consider which among the Gopi Gita verses expresses the highest degree of transcendental love. During the Rath Yatra festival, Maharaj Prataparudra, wearing simple attire, approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu while he was resting in a garden, immersed in internal consciousness. Maharaj Prataparudra circumambulated him and bowed down before him. Then sitting next to him, he began to massage his lotus feet, slowly and gently, while reciting the verses of Gopi Gita. Aroused by the king's singing, Mahaprabhu exclaimed, "What sweet nectar I hear! Where is it coming from?" Captivated by the nectar of Gopi Gita, he listened patiently, enraptured without breathing or trembling, or showing any sign of life. When Prataparudra Maharaj came to the verse beginning Tava Katamritam, Tapta Jivanam, Mahaprabhu's alertness sharpened, and he thought, "Oh, who is this, pouring this supreme nectar into my ears? How is it that, resting in this garden, I have heard such exquisite ambrosia as this?" He arose and told the king, "You are pouring elixir into my ears. Who are you?" He then bestowed his mercy upon the king. It may be seen that this verse, verse 9, is the most beautiful in this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. But it is not. Our present verse, yatte sujatat charanam buruham staneshu. And the two verses preceding it are far superior. Rahasi samvidam hrikchayodayam prahasitananam prema vikshanam brihadurashriyo viksya dharmate muhurati spriha muyate mana. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:31-17. O beloved Master, having seen you as you conversed intimately with us in secret places, your smiling face, which acts as a stimulus for our amorous desires, your glancing at us with love, and your expansive chest, which is the eternal resting place of the goddess of fortune, our hankering to meet with you has increased many-fold, and our minds are repeatedly bewildered. Vrajavanokshanam Vyaktya angate vrijini hantrialam vishvamangalam tyajamanakchanas tvatsprahatmanam swajana hridrujam yannisudanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:31-18. O Krishna, your appearance completely destroys the sorrows of Braja's residence, and in every way brings auspiciousness to the world. Our hearts, which desire you alone, are agonized by our heart disease. Therefore, giving up all miserliness, kindly give us charity, a little bit of that medicine which can cure your dear ones. These 3 verses are hundreds upon hundreds of times sweeter than Tava Katamritam Tapta Jivanam, which merely praises Sri Krishna's pastimes. That verse states that Harikatha is nectar, Amrita, but these 3 final verses are actual Harikatha. I have already explained the verse beginning Rahasi Samvidam, wherein the gopis refer to their previous intimate conversations with Krishna. Another example of such conversations is in verse 16, wherein the gopis told Krishna, "Give a little." Krishna asked them, "What should I give?" "Oh, you are certainly a very good doctor," they replied, "the best in the world. You know more about diseases than we do. Place your fingers on our hearts, and then you will be able to understand the nature of our disease and recommend the required medicine." As soon as Sri Krishna touched the gopis by placing his fingers on their hearts, something transpired in his own heart. In this way, Rahasi Sambidam refers to their many intimate dialogues. Here is another example. When the gopis first arrived at Vamsivat, after Krishna had called them with his flute, he asked them nonchalantly why had they come. "You called us," they replied. "No," he said, "I have not called you." "Oh, yes, you did." "I certainly did not." "Did you play on your flute?" "Yes, I played on my flute." "So you called us." "I was not calling you." "You were. You called our names, and in so doing you completely stole our hearts. You stole our valuable and precious wealth and ran away with it. So we have run here to catch you. Please return our wealth, and then we will go." "I do not have anything of yours." "That is not true. You do have it, and we will not go home until you return it to us." This is an instance of Rahasi Samvidam, intimate conversations in solitary places, and the discussion below is an instance of Krikchayodayam, the disease of calm rising in the heart. The gopis told Krishna, "We see your heart." "What do you see?" "We see that it is palpitating." "Why is it doing so?" "It palpitates because of your desire to associate with us, which is revealed by the display of all your 5 arrows." This is why these 3 last verses of Gopi Gita are superior to the verse beginning Tava Katamritam. In fact, all the verses following it are superior. For example, verse 14, Surata Vardhanam Shoka Nashanam, and verse 11, Kalasi Yadvrajak, charayan prasun, especially manifest the moods of the gopis and their specific pastimes with Krishna. While beautiful, the 8 verses before Tavakatamritam are not the most exalted, yet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became overwhelmed with transcendental ecstasy and experienced the Ashtasattvika bhavs when he heard them. All transcendental ecstasies, such as Vyabhachari, Vibhav and Anubhav, blazed in him. Had he heard the sublime later verses of the Gopis' song, especially these last 3 verses, he would have certainly become still more maddened. These are all invaluable topics, but our hearts do not value them. We are still not on such a level of bhakti that we can remember them and become absorbed in the gopis' moods. If after hundreds upon hundreds of births we become qualified by the grace of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and their associates, we will then be able to understand these topics in the right way. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur has offered a thoughtful commentary on this 19th verse. Krishna asks, "O Rasi Gopis, what is it that you are begging?" They implore him, "We are begging some medicine for our hearts. Do you want to serve my lotus feet by putting them on your breasts? This is not possible. My feet are fully satisfied to walk through the forests of Vrindavan, so I will not put them where you want. I have no time at all for such things." This brings deep sorrow to the gopis' hearts, and as they chant this verse, they begin to weep. In India, women often weep as they express their feelings in very sweet songs, and it cannot be discerned whether they are singing or weeping. It is described in Brihat Bhagavatamrita that Gop Kumar heard something that sounded like a very beautiful song. He followed the sound, and as he came nearer, he could not understand whether the singer was weeping or overjoyed. Following the sound a bit further, he entered a kunj. There he saw that his guru was sweetly singing, and yet at the same time weeping with tears in his eyes, quite unconscious of the external world. Similarly, the gopis weep as they sing their mellifluous song, Yatte sujatat charanam buruham staneshu. We carefully and gently hold your lotus feet on our heart. Why on their heart? The heart is the best part of the body. One who has something very valuable and precious keeps that possession close to his heart. As mentioned in our discussion of Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, the gopis tell Krishna, "You are our life, everything about you and every part of you. Your feet, face, hands, head, and everything else is our life. We want to keep our life in our heart. We want to serve our life very tenderly and gently, but you are running here and there throughout the forests of Vrindavan, where there are rough places full of sharp stones and other things that can hurt your feet. As mentioned above, there is no fear of stones and other sharp objects in Vrindavan. There exists no imperfection at all. As stated in the first verse of Gopi Gita, Vrindavan has been decorated by Sri Lakshmi Devi, who is present there. Jayati Tedikam Janmana Braja Shrayata Indira. Vrindavan is not a desert, nor is it a hilly place. On the contrary, its terrain is very gentle and verdant. But the gopis do not acknowledge this, and they think just the opposite. As lovers inherently feel apprehension at the time of separation, out of concern for their beloveds. Alas, alas, the gopis tell Krishna, you are extraordinarily daring. Krishna may say, why do you fear my walking in Vrindavan? There is not just one gopi, but millions, and they tell Krishna, your lotus feet are so soft, much softer than any lotus. We realize this. We take them in our hands and place them on our very soft breasts. However, when we compare your lotus feet to our hearts, we realize that your lotus feet are millions of times more tender and soft. We know that in comparison to rough pebbles and stones, our breasts are soft, but they do not have the softness and other good qualities of your lotus feet. We therefore hold them on our hearts very gently and carefully, so that you do not feel any pain. But now you are roaming in the forest. Krishna replies, if you know that my feet are so soft in comparison to your breasts, why do you try to put them there? O beloved, we know you will feel great happiness if you do this. But knowing that it will certainly make you happy, we forget all our own suffering and become immersed in the ocean of happiness. If we know that our behavior or anything else brings you a little joy, we become filled with ever-increasing bliss. Sri Krishna is satisfied in himself, Atmaram, and all his desires are fulfilled, Aptakam. There is no possibility that his pleasure can increase. It is already unlimited. Nonetheless, even though there is no room for it to increase, it does so when Krishna is with Srimati Radhika. Krishna is beautiful. He is Madan, the transcendental Cupid, the captivator of all. However, when he is with Srimati Radhika, he is Madan Mohan, that personality who bewilders even Cupid. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has said in his Swa Niyama Dasakam, I will not leave Radha Kund in Vrindavan, even to see Sri Krishna personally present in his deity form at Badri Narayan, Dwarka, Puri, and other places. Rasik Vaishnavas may be speaking Harikatha there, but I will never leave Srimati Radhika to go elsewhere. If Radhika is not there, I will not go, even if Sri Krishna himself calls me saying, O dear one, come to Dwarka and serve my lotus feet here. Yet if I hear that Radhika is also there, I will go there immediately. Of course, she would never normally go there, but if she were to become mad and lose her senses and thus go to Dwarka, I would go there immediately. I would fly there with more speed than Garuda, who flies faster than the mind. This raises a point for discussion. We hear that Srimati Radhika left Vrindavan and went to Kurukshetra. We read in Sri Brihat Bhagavatamrita that Sri Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, and from there went to Dwarka. Srimad Bhagavatam vividly describes Dwarkadish Krishna going to Kurukshetra and meeting with Radhika there. But we also know that Krishna of Mathura, Dwarka, and Kurukshetra is not Nandanandanan Krishna, or Radhakanta of Braj. He is Devaki Nandan, or Vasudev Nandan, the son of Vasudev and Devaki, a manifestation of Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in Lalita Madhava that when Krishna went to Mathura and Dwarka, Srimati Radhika was in such a deep state of separation that she went to Kelanvan, where she entered the waters of Yamuna and drowned. Srila Rupa Goswami is silent about what transpired between that time and her arrival as Satyabhama in Nava Vrindavan, Dwarka. But he explains that once there she met Rukmini. Rukmini thought, oh, this girl is exquisitely beautiful. If Krishna sees her, he will be attracted to her and will no longer love me as he does now. She tried to keep the new girl from the sun planet hidden from Krishna, hoping to prevent him from seeing her. Nevertheless, Krishna eventually saw her and fell in love with her at once. Because Rukmini continued her attempt to stop Krishna and Satyabhama, Radhika, from meeting, Satyabhama felt such painful separation from Krishna that she went to the Kaliya lake in Nava Vrindavan with the aim of being bitten by the poisonous serpents there. She jumped into the lake, and unknown to her, Krishna saw her and jumped in after her. When he caught hold of her from behind, Satyabhama thought with relief, oh, here are two black snakes full of poison, and they are about to bite me. She could not imagine that Krishna himself was holding her until he turned her around to face him. Upon seeing him, she came to her external senses and fell on his chest. Rukmini saw this and thought, I tried hard to keep them apart, but I was not successful. Now they should be married. Krishna then proposed to Satyabhama and married her. Who is the teenage girl who travelled by the rays of the sun to Navavrindavan in Dwarka? And who went to Kurukshetra to meet with Krishna there? This is a significant point. The explanation is that there are three features of Srimati Radhika. One of them, her complete feature, is the daughter of Brishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi. Just as Nandanandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is the cause or origin of all his expansions, so Srimati Radhika, the daughter of Brishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi, is the origin of all her female expansions. Neither Brishabhanu Nandini nor Krishna ever leaves Vrindavan. She may think that he has gone somewhere else for a short time and feels separation from him then, but she never thinks that he has permanently gone anywhere else. There are different types of separation, pravas, that occur before the four main types of meeting, Sankshipta, Sankiran, Sampanna, and Samriddhiman. There is a small separation in the daytime when Krishna goes out to herd the cows. Sometimes Man, the sulky mood of transcendental, loving, jealous anger, comes between Radhika and Krishna like a wall. This is also a kind of separation, because they cannot talk or interact, even though they are together. Sudura Pravas takes place then. They are separated for many years, as when Sri Krishna leaves Vrindavan for Mathura and Dwarka. When they meet after a lengthy separation, they feel supremely blissful. In Vrindavan, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna do not generally think or feel that their separation lasts for long. Srimati Radhika's mood is this: I am here at Suryakund, and Krishna is coming from Kusum Sarovar. We will wait for him. Or she is in Man. Brishabhanu Nandini does not think Krishna has gone to Mathura and Dwarka. She embraces the Tamaltris, talking and laughing with them, thinking, Oh, Krishna is here. She decorates herself and acts as though he were present. In this way, she lives in Vrindavan and never goes anywhere else. There are two manifestations of this complete and original feature of Radhika as the daughter of King Brishabhanu and Kirtida Devi. One manifestation is Sangyogini Radha, who has the mood of meeting Krishna at Kurukshetra, and the other is Viyogini Radha, who is immersed in a spirit of separation. Sangyogini Radha has a relatively submissive rightist Dakshin mood, whereas Viyogini Radha has a more contrary leftist Baumya mood. It is Sangyogini Radha who goes to Kurukshetra and meets Krishna there, and Viyogini Radha who goes to Suryaloka. Everything that I have explained here regarding these three features of Srimati Radhika should be remembered when hearing, reading, or recalling any pastime of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Only in this way is it possible to understand these pastimes. Brishabhanu Nandini Radhika and her Sakis speak this verse beginning Yatte Sujata Charanam. Although this verse may be interpreted as the Dakshin Bhav of Chandravali and her Sakis, it may also be understood to be extremely leftist in mood. Krishna says to the gopis, Why do you want to keep my feet on your hearts? They reply, We know that you will be satisfied if we do. There is so much that cannot be told here. So you can come to know the hidden meanings through your chanting and a mood of pure devotion. The gopis' desires are not understood by material intelligence, but rather by realized experience. The gopis continue, We wanted to perform austerities to please Brahma, but his nature is like yours. You both want to make us suffer. Suppose we perform austerities to please him, and we beg him to make our hearts soft. We believe that he may comply. But then you would not be at all satisfied. When you place your lotus feet on our hearts, two things happen. First, we become happy because you are happy. And second, we feel sorry that our breasts are so hard. Still, when we see you a little satisfied, we become so happy that all our sorrows and sufferings disappear. This is a symptom of Mahabhav. In Mahabhav, there are times when, even though Krishna is satisfied, the gopis become very sorrowful, thinking that he is not. Sometimes, when Radha and Krishna are together, their love for each other reaches such extreme rapture that they forget they are together. At such times, they drown in sorrow, feeling deep separation from each other. Let us take the example of Radhika and Krishna at Prem Sarovar. They were sitting together happily, side by side, when a bumblebee came and tried to fly near Radhika's lotus face, as if it were a very fragrant lotus flower. Radhika became frightened. Madhumangal swiftly drove away the bumblebee with his stick, and then he returned, saying, "Madhusudan will not come back. I have driven him so far away that he will not return." In Sanskrit, a bumblebee is called Madhusudan, and this was Madhumangal's meaning. However, Srimati Radhika thought he was talking about Krishna, who is also known as Madhusudan. Even though she was sitting right beside Krishna, she began to weep and then she fainted. Radhika and all the other gopis singing Gopi Gita are in Mahabhav. None of them are below the stage of Mahabhav. Now they weep and say, "When Brahma constructed our bodies, he wrote only misery on our foreheads. We even considered performing austerities to please him, so that our hearts would become very soft. Although we understood that you will not be satisfied if our hearts are soft, at the same time we will always be unhappy if they are rough. We are uncertain and bewildered about what to do and what not to do. If we know that your lotus feet are happy, then our heart disease will go away as well. So come at once, do not delay." The word dri in this 19th verse means discrimination or intelligence. The gopis tell Krishna, "Our discrimination sometimes goes one way and sometimes another. Should our hearts be hard or soft? When you roam in Vrindavan, we wonder whether or not you are suffering. Sometimes it seems to us that you feel pleasure when you place your feet on the forest floor, and sometimes we fear it is very painful for you. Our intelligence is caught between these two extremes. We only know that you give us suffering in both meeting and separation." In our discussion on verse 15, I explained one reason the gopis feel pain in meeting with Sri Krishna. At that time they said, "When you go to Vrindavan forest for herding the cows, 1 second or even a tiny part of a second becomes like a millennium for us. Then when you return, we become happy thinking, 'Oh, Krishna has returned.' Yet even then, we can only look at you for a moment. The eyelids given to us by Brahma fall down and make our eyes blink, thus interrupting our vision of you. Sometimes our eyes do not blink for a moment, but then tears come, and again we cannot see you. In this way, being with you becomes even more painful than not being with you, and our unhappiness increases. Hence, you give us suffering in both meeting and separation. We are dependent. We are not free. We cannot meet with you because we are under the control of our husbands, in-laws, parents, and so many other persons. But you are quite free, so why must you suffer? Why do you go to the forest, where the sharp pebbles and grain sprouts can cause you suffering? Your feet are not suited to walking in the forest." Krishna may reply, "Yes, I am quite free. I do whatever I wish. So why are you telling me what to do? This has nothing to do with you." Hearing this, the gopis say, "It may be true that we have nothing to do with your actions, but how can you say that you do not feel pain while walking? Indeed, you feel it. We think that you are cruel and merciless to all your bodily limbs, just as you are cruel to us. It is your nature to give pain to yourself as well as to others. You give pain to everyone. In our opinion, your thinking is like this: my nature is to give distress to others, and when I see others' misery, I become elated. However, if I am to give suffering to these gopis, I will have to accept some bodily pain myself. You then irresponsibly inflict pain upon yourself, just so you can give pain to us gopis. This is the reason you walk in the forest and suffer these injuries to your feet." Brahmati dir bhavad ayusam. The gopis utter the word Brahma, meaning confusion about many different possibilities. Considering those possibilities, they tell Krishna, "You feel pain, but your pain is secondary for you. It is necessary for you to feel some pain, because then you can give pain to us. Your heart is so cruel that you feel joy by giving anguish to others, and that is why you willingly accept your own suffering." They continue, "A second possibility is that in seeing our pain and suffering, you feel such abundant pleasure that your own pain feels like pleasure as well. Suppose someone acquires a great deal of money and then purchases a building, at which time he receives a registered document that gives him legal ownership. Being the new owner, he happily thinks, 'What a palatial building I have!' He is a tall man, and, opening the door with the key, he hits his head on the top of the doorframe as he enters, and thus injures himself. 'Any injury? Any injury?' asks the person with him. 'No, no, nothing of the sort,' he replies. In the midst of the happiness he feels upon acquiring such a good property, he takes no notice of any pain. Similarly, the gopis tell Krishna, 'You become so happy when you give us pain, and in your happiness you think that any pain you feel is also very good.' Once, when Sri Krishna met with Srimati Radhika and all her gopi companions, he forcibly caught hold of a manjari's hand and pulled her towards him while trying to embrace her. That manjari began to weep, crying out in submission to Radhika, 'O Swamini, Swamini, save me, save me!' Srimati Radhika ran over to Krishna and twisted his hand. Now free, the manjari ran behind her, gasping for breath. Krishna again attempted to catch her, and again Radhika twisted his hand. This time Krishna felt some pain, but that pain was much more pleasurable for him than anything else could have been. Overjoyed, he thought, "I have been waiting for this for a long time, waiting for Radhika to take hold of my hand." The third possibility, considered by the gopis, can be understood in this way. In Niti Vakya it is said, "Samsaragaya dosha guna bhavanti." This means that a person will imbibe the good or bad qualities of whomever he comes in contact with. It is a matter of association. There is a story in this connection. A trapper used to go to the forest to catch parrots and other birds for selling. One day he caught 2 baby parrots, brought them to a town, and sold them to 2 different families. After a while, someone visited the house of the owner of one of the parrots, and the bird spoke sweetly to him, saying, "Welcome, welcome, come in, and Ram Krishna, Ram Krishna." That person then visited the house of the owner of the other parrot, which said, "Who are you? Who are you? Get out, you rascal, you stupid nonsense person." Each of these birds had begun to mimic the behavior of those around them. Thus, by one type of association, one becomes gentle, and by another type of association, one becomes rough. Applying this aphorism, the gopis tell Krishna, "At first your heart was very soft, more soft than a lotus, and consequently your lotus feet were as soft as your heart. But your feet have associated with our hard breasts. Now they have become very hard, and your heart, by association, has also become hard. As a result, neither your heart nor your feet feel any pain when you roam in the forest. Your feet are callous to the stones, and your heart is callous to us." The gopis then offer a fourth possible explanation. Again, on the basis of samsaragaya doshaguna bhavanti, by association, one may become hard or soft. They say, your heart is very soft, and by its association, your lotus feet are also soft. By the touch of your soft lotus feet, all the sharp stones, shoots, and everything that might cause pain becomes soft. It is for this reason that you do not feel any pain when you wander in the forest. This brings us to another point. The gopis say, "The earth loves you so much that wherever you place your lotus feet, she extends her soft tongue for you to step on. Perhaps this is why you do not feel any pain. Or perhaps it is this: you are such an ocean of love that when you observed our feelings of separation from you, you also felt separation from us. You became maddened and bewildered, and thus bewildered, you do not feel any pain." Radhika is recollecting her own experience. Once she went to a high place on Govardhan Hill to observe Sri Krishna, who was standing below. Even though the stone on which she stood was burning hot, she did not feel its heat at all. She felt as if she were standing in a cool place, under the shade of a tree or in a river. She stood without blinking, feeling so much happiness that the hairs on her body stood on end and tears flowed from her eyes. Remembering her own experience, she now says, "You have become maddened by witnessing our prem, our grief in separation from you. As a result, you are also feeling separation, and that is why you do not feel pain." After considering all these arguments, the gopis finally conclude, there are so many possible explanations that we cannot say definitely why you would not feel pain while roaming in this forest. They suppose that Krishna may say, "Perhaps you are expressing your own suffering, but I do not feel your suffering. When I see your misery, I do not feel any misery, I feel pleasure." He may also tell them, "You say that you feel my pain, and also that I am your life, yet you have not died yet. I see that you are walking and talking and passing your days very nicely." In reply to this, the gopis say, "You are our life. It is for your welfare that we have kept our life in you. The reason we do not die in spite of such anguish is that you are both our life air and our life. Because you are feeling pleasure, we do not die. You and Brahma, who is also known as Vidhata, the giver of one's destiny, are two friends with the same nature. Brahma has created us to give us suffering, and your nature is the same. Perhaps Brahma is thinking, if the gopis die, then the purpose for which I have created them, so that I could become happy by seeing their suffering, will not be accomplished." According to the gopis, it is for this reason that Brahma placed their life heirs in Sri Krishna. They continued, "You are very happy to see our agony, and therefore our life heir is also happy in you. That is the reason we have not died, in spite of our agony. But now you will see our life heirs come out of our body as we die." Krishna asks, how can you die if your life, ayus, is still present? It is in reply to this question that the gopis say, Bhavad ayusayam na. You are our life. Now we will die, but our life will remain in you, and you will live joyfully for millions of millenniums. We are going. Sri Vaishnava Toshani explains that Krishna's heart melts when he sees the gopis in this condition. He cannot escape. He thinks the gopis will surely die, and if they die, I will die. I must go to them at once and satisfy them. The gopis now fall to the ground unconscious, and at that moment Krishna appears before them. When they open their eyes and see him, it is as if their lives have returned to their bodies. The following chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam reveals what happened next. This concludes verse 19 of Gopi Gita.